Welcome to Be Care. In this lesson, we're looking at why Be Care with a focus on the topic of Be Care across the health and pastoral care continuum. I'm Vicky Legg. I'm part of the church support team at Baptist Care SA. So we're going to cover a definition of health. If you haven't already had a go at writing your own definition for health, you can pause the video now and attempt that. We're going to look at adding health to pastoral care and the continuum behind that, why participate in health and pastoral care ministry, and there's an optional reflection activity for you at the end that connects in with the biblical underpinnings that Anne's already talked about. So what did you write for your definition of health? Did you begin with health being not being ill, not being sick? The World Health Organization says that health is a dynamic state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. If we're to move on from that very individual focus for health, the Christian Medical Commission of the World Council of Churches says that health is a dynamic state of well-being of the individual and society, of physical, mental, economic, political and social well-being, of beings in harmony with each other, with the environment and with God. So thinking about the two definitions that we've looked at and what you might have written, what are some of the themes that you can see emerging here? Did you see that health is dynamic? It's changing. It would be great if the health that we had when we were a fit 18-year-old is the health that we have for the rest of our life, but our health changes. Health is more than just the absence of disease. It's about well-being, and there's many dimensions to that. There's the dimensions within ourselves of body, mind and spirit, but also looking at mental health, physical health, emotional health, relational health. And there's our connection with other people, so that harmony again within ourselves, harmony and balance, unity with other people. So relationship is a big part of health with each other, with the environment and with God. The biblical word for health is shalom, and it can be also translated as peace and prosperity. It's a much wider reading than the word than just physical health that we may imagine. And Anne's going to talk to you more about this in the videos on healing. Now we're going to take that definition of health and add it to pastoral care and put them on a continuum together. We'll start with the pastoral care side of the continuum because that is what you're probably most familiar with. So this is where we respond to need, to an issue, to disaster, and there's some of the things listed there. It could be disease, illness, disability, abuse, injury, relationship breakdown, addiction, aging, dying, poverty, homelessness. And we have a reactive focus to how we support people. We do pastoral care activities such as visiting, prayer. We might help out with meals or transport. We can do practical relief, giving people clothes if they need it, giving people food, that direct assistance. We can also be involved with care management, counselling, self-help groups, support activities and education. And this is about helping people deal with the issue or the crisis that they're in. So we might offer divorce recovery programs, addiction help. And also we have the community services at the bottom where we provide relief. But if we look to the other side, to the purple side, where the aim of this side is to help people thrive, this is where we're bringing in health. It's proactive. It's about prevention, promotion, and promotion of holistic health. It's about relationship and shalom. So some of the things might be preventing disease, injury or abuse, promoting health and well-being of the whole person, body, mind and spirit, and the person's relationship with family, other people, creation and God. So looking at the proactive focus, we can be involved with engagement and relationship building. We can help people with conflict management. We can teach them about boundaries so that we strengthen their relationships, and that way we may avoid relationship breakdown. We can be involved with fitness and movement and good nutrition, and by doing this we are helping people stay well. We're preventing illness. An example might be a falls prevention program in a church. We can strengthen people's faith life. We can teach people the presence of God in hard times. We can help them with developing their skills, their talents, their capacity building activities, give them opportunities to serve and participate and develop their emotional resilience. And this is about having a strength-based approach, which we'll talk about in another video, because everyone has something to offer. We just sometimes have to help people see that in themselves and provide opportunity for them to be involved. And we can do community development activities. But it is a continuum, and in a first response to a crisis, we do deal with the need that's at hand, but then we need to help shift people through to that health side. So to give an example of that, so we may respond to a person who's experiencing a mental health disorder. They may need practical help for a time, they may need help to connect or support to seek professional assistance. But as they recover and get a bit better, we want to move them along that continuum. So we might find out what the person enjoys. So for this example, let's say they're good at baking. We then might connect them with others who have a passion for baking. This is called passion mashing, where you join people, connect people with someone who has the same interests that they do, because we know that community is good for people's mental health. But also this person might then be baking with their friend, but we can create an opportunity then for them to serve in the church, in that they may want to bake and produce goods to use at a morning tea or a special event. So we incorporate them using their gifts into the body. Anne has talked about the biblical principles that underpin health and pastoral care. She talked about justice and righteousness, stewardship, communion, compassion, service and healing. If you look at the handout, you can see these under both sides then, under the reactive, the care side, but also under the pastoral care, the health side. And there's comments there to show you how they might apply in both those situations. So why would you want to participate in health and pastoral care ministry? It's an opportunity to reach out into your community with the healing and saving love of Christ. We as the body of the church, we're his hands, his feet, his heart. We are called to be his transforming love in the world. And each of us has been created to be a part of the work. If we look at Ephesians 2 verse 10, it says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." And this is a way that we can express our faith in action, as James challenges us. And I'm going to read from James 2 verses 14 to 17. "Dear brothers, what's the use in saying that you have faith and are Christians if you aren't proving it by helping others? Will that kind of faith save anyone? If you have a friend who is in need of food and clothing and you say to him, 'Well, goodbye, God bless you, stay warm and eat hearty,' and then you don't give him clothes or food, what good does that do? So you see, it isn't enough just to have faith. You must also do good to prove that you have it. Faith doesn't show itself by good works is no faith at all. It's dead and useless." The Christian church has a mandate to continue Jesus' ministry in our world, and this includes the health, healing and restorative care that Jesus provided. In Matthew 9:35 it says, "Jesus went through all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the good news of the kingdom and healing every disease and sickness." And in the Good Samaritan in Luke 10, we see Jesus using the parable of the Good Samaritan to show the compassionate care without prejudice to all who need it, especially the vulnerable, that he wants to see, and he instructs us clearly to go and do likewise. Health and pastoral care ministry can be developed in an organised manner, and it provides effective and far-reaching ministry and mission opportunities. It develops a continuum of care for our most vulnerable people, and it complements and supplements the existing health, community, disability and aged care services. It's a ministry that provides innovative opportunities to bring the gospel to our community and meet their tangible needs, and also to grow the health of the community. In summary, health and pastoral care ministry is proactive, seeking to promote health and well-being, and it's reactive, responding effectively to actual need in ways that empower, strengthen and heal people. And finally, it's prophetic. It's prophetic in that it brings hopefulness in the transformation of Jesus that to a person's life now, but also for eternity. And it can be summarized as being carefree, promoting health of the body, mind and spirit for individuals and communities. Be careful, preventing disease, injury, abuse and relationship breakdown across the lifespan, and being caring, providing compassionate care and activities aimed at restoration and healing. There's an activity sheet that you can download. It looks like this. And you complete the blank columns with examples of what you and your church is doing that demonstrates the biblical principle that's listed there. They're on both the health and the care side. And also, if there's gaps, you can reflect on what else you could be doing and what it would look like to fulfill those biblical principles in both the care side and the health side of the continuum.